Options Center Weekend Edition is Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. 9/25/21. Hope everybody had a wonderful week. We're going to get through this weekend here, this weekend edition, pretty quick. We have some things to go through, so this might be a 20-minute video or so, and then we'll go on to the Patreon portion of it, and so we can get into depth. But I just want to give you a heads up that we want to make sure that these videos are not just market updates and just kind of seeing what's happening, but hopefully we can educate you just little by little in each one of these videos for those who are brand new at this. So just stick around, and we do these videos pretty often, so hit that notification button if you haven't already, so you can get these videos alerts. So we're going to go through SPX on multiple time frames. Check out SPY and the Vix Futures. We use VX for the Vix Futures, and then we'll stop there for the non-Patreons. And if you want to become a Patreon member and get the additional information and trade alerts and things like that, it's only $5 for the first tier. If you get on there and you're like, no, this is not teaching me much more, then go ahead and cancel. It's cancel at any time. And so yeah, I'd love to have you there. And we can do Zoom calls and things like that, whatever you want, education wise, to get you up to speed where you're at any level of trading. So, all right, let's jump into it. Let's get me off the screen. I'm going to pause it for 1 second here. All right, here we are, SPX on the weekly. We're going to check it out from this far back point of view. We have wave 2 down here. We're working on wave 3 up to where the megaphone is, wave 4, and now we're working on wave 5 of 5 of 5. So when is this going to end? That's why we keep doing this each and every day, so we have clues on when we're going to have this big, huge pullback that we're all anticipating over FinTwit. Anyway, so right now we had this on the lower time frame. I'm going to show you that we were just in a corrective move that I thought we were just in a corrective move to the upside, and we have more downside to go. And I just want to tell you that when you have corrective moves, they're rip your face off rallies. And I didn't anticipate this one would be so powerful. But look at these in the past. Especially this megaphone. These are corrective waves. 1, 2, 3 wave up, massive move. And it was relentless. 3 wave move down. And I hope you guys remember that one. That was a huge. I was just starting my my options career, not just starting it, but actually started using options aggressively and did very well on that last drop. We thought it was never going to end. And this is also a 3 wave move up. Massive 3 wave move up, and then you saw it happen with the coronavirus. So I'm not saying this is a corrective move. That's a impulse wave, wave 5. But let's go on to get in there we go, better view there. So now in this wave 5, we're at 1, 2, 3. And we're working on intermediate wave 4. Is wave 4 over? Is this the wrong count? We don't know that for a fact. That's a nice bullish candle right back into resistance of the 8 EMA on the weekly. We pushed off of the 20, which that the reaction, that's there's no doubt that we should have bounced off there. That's the 20-day moving average, 20-week moving average. Now, what happens next is the big deal. We have a nice tail candle, but we need follow through. This thing can easily just start moving back to the downside through that tail, and that would tell us exactly what's happening. This should have direct follow through on Monday and just start a nice big green candle if we're bullish. Otherwise, if we start having trouble and hanging around, just bears our control at this point, in my opinion. So on the weekly, we're looking for this target. We have a 382 target of about 440.40 here on the SPX, coming from the bottom of wave 2 here, of intermediate wave 2, and to the top of wave 3. That would give us a 38.2 retracement, and if we come down hard, which I'm thinking this waterfall, we called it all-time highs or waterfall. We're at that point where if we get that follow through, we're getting all-time highs. We're not going to wish-wash around. If we get that waterfall, we're going to come right down through, probably pause at this diagonal, this rising pivot, and then break down. We have the 50-week moving average down here, coinciding with that 40-43-2 area. It's you know, when you have these Fibonacci retracements and extensions, they're areas, so we often come through it just like a resistance. It's a zone. You don't just stop right on a dime and then turn to the upside, but you do have the MA here as well, and that's along with this this massive megaphone rising pivot also. So whether we come down in 1 to 2 weeks at this point, that that's to be determined. But I do think this is going to be very, very impulsive 5-wave move down. And what supports that? Let's check out the MACD here. We had our cross through, we had the bear divergence playing out, and we're starting to really get some momentum on that histogram. So you can see that we're making our way down. In the long term, we're still over that 0 line, which means we're in a bullish trend. Even though we're making a correction, we're still in this bullish territory, well into it. Just want to keep note of that, so we're not expecting any new lows in the market, any crashes or anything like that. It's going to feel like it if we get what we're talking about. It's going to feel like it. But we have the RSI. You know, we chop as we're going up, making more divergence in the bear side, and now we are making acceleration to the downside. You see it trying to curl back up for this, for what I think is a correction, and I do suspect we'll come all the way back down to this 50 area here. If we, for some reason, go lower underneath that, then I do think we have something else going on. But we should make a nice big move to the 50 to where we start to make our correction back to the upside. Let's go to the daily, see if we can kind of map out what's going to happen, what we sort of suspect. And if you see here, this is our 1, 2, and we're working on wave 3, and now going down to wave 4. I will add this on here. Let's go ahead and duplicate this text note, and I do think we'll get this wave 4 down to the 38.2. Now if you notice our wave 2, that was a zigzag down here. There's a 5-wave move down, 3-wave, 5-wave move down. That's a 5-3-5. So that's a zigzag down. We can't have a zigzag down here to get down to the wave 4. So we already had a what we think is a wave, a 3-wave, 3-wave, and now we're looking for a 5-wave. That would make sense to be an ABC correction here, and so that's why I think we're going to be so impulsive next week. We're, you know, it might be news that all of a sudden pops out of here, something of that field. But we do have an A, 3-way move down, B, we have a 3-way move up, and we can look on that in the lower time frame. We'll get in there. And now this has to be a big move if we're going to get down to this 382. I mean, we're talking over 400 points to the downside. Will that happen within 2 weeks? I would imagine so, because this is an impulsive wave. We're looking for 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, massive 3, 4, 5. And that would complete our overall picture of a complex correction on a wave 4. So once we get to this wave A, that's not it. We're not going to go lower necessarily at this point, but we're going to go more sideways. So we're looking for, at that point, if we get all the way down to the 382, then I would be suspecting that we're done going to the downside, but we'll move sideways for a B and then a C, maybe in a triangle at that point. If we stop short of this 382, somewhat short, we just don't tag it, maybe we come down to the 200 or somewhere just above there, then I would suspect a little bit different. I would suspect we're going to be in some sort of flat to where it's going to be an A, B, a huge rally for B, and we're going to think we're going to make new highs, but really we're just going sideways to make this B, and then a 5-wave move down for C. So this will be a large 3-wave move, a large 3-wave move to the upside, and then a 5-wave move to the downside. Now, if this is a triangle, we're going to have a little bit larger move down, but this is a 3-wave move, 3-wave move, 3-wave move, and then we're off to the races. Or we have a C, D, E, before we start moving. And that would take quite some time to get through before we start actually making our moves for our first impulsive wave move up to begin our last 5-wave move of wave 5 on the primary. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We may pause at somewhere around this area. Maybe this is our 1, 2, and then we have our 3, 4, 5 down there. We don't know that, but we're gonna play through, and we're gonna go for our target. Okay, so let's go down to the 65-minute and just hold on before we go. We have our MACD here. Our MACD made it into bear territory. We crossed underneath that 0 line. Now we're back testing at this point. So we are in bearish territory, which means that we're in a bearish trend. We are not out of this trend. That's why I wrote down the downtrend remains. So we're not out of the clouds here. We have on the RSI where we came down. We didn't even get to an old oversold point, which could mean that a bullish thing, because we're in a bull market. But look how we stayed right above it. We kind of peeked through that 50, peeked through the 50 line, finally broke it, and now we're back testing, and I suspect we'll do the exact opposite of right here. Not for as long, but we'll come back, retest it, go to perhaps to much lower on the oversold point before we actually start making our move to the upside. Or this could be just at this point, after we go oversold, then we kind of just go from range to range until we finally start to break to the upside after our corrective move. So after we get over this 0 line, that's going to start giving us some indication that we're back into a bull trend on the daily. So keep an eye out on that, but I do believe we have to go a little bit lower on there before we actually start making those moves. So that kind of supports that we have a big move to the downside before correcting sideways for a little bit. All right, let's go down to that 65-minute, see if we can learn anything else from this hourly time frame. We had our ending diagonal here. We even tried to see if the expanding diagonal will work on there, but it didn't quite work as well. It didn't. We back tested it and went right through it. So I just left it ending diagonal. It works out perfect. We had our 5-wave move up, throw over and back down here, grinding down, back tested the ending diagonal perfectly. So it definitely represents that this is a good trend line to use. And then we had an impulsive wave move down. So that would say that we had an A, B, C correction there. And that's what the dilemma is. A lot of people think that's the end of the correction and we are moving. Even if that was, we still have to do some sort of move sideways before moving to the upside. But I don't think so. I think this is an A. And I think we, let's get a little bit tighter in here. This was a possible A, B, C correction done. There is an argument that we didn't get our 5-wave move here, that's wave 3, 4, and maybe we have a little bit higher to go to complete this wave B, but we'll have to see that on Monday. We did come back right to the to 618 retracement. It doesn't mean we can't go to the 782, but if we put this up here to the top of the beginning of the correction and come all the way back down lower, you see we're right in that zone of the 618. There's nothing that says we can't go to the 786. I said 782 to the 786 before completing this move here. But either way, our plan stays the same. We would have to put our time frame out a little bit further, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep watching price. Price is the arbiter. That's what really matters. So we possibly the target could be 4490-ish area, 4500 area before we make our correction. So that's just how we trade, you guys. You know, I'm not going to say that this is for sure the end of the move, but I'm playing that way. And I'll add on to my position if we go further. But this does look like a nice 1-2 setup for the downside. So if we gap down, then, you know, I think our mission's starting, and we definitely have to get underneath here to confirm that we are in an impulsive wave 3. Other than that, if we come back, we pull back on Monday and we don't make a new low under here, then that's probably a 1, 2, and this is a new wave 5 wave going up to complete this move here. So we either have just a little bit, a couple more days of up move, and then our descent, or we're completely wrong and we have this say first impulsive wave 1, and then we make a wave 2, and then we go to all-time highs. That would be the bullish scenario. All right. I don't, the indicators don't support that bullish move, but hey, anything can happen. Here's our MACD on the 65 minute. We're still in bullish territory, starting to calm down a little bit. Is at the end of it before we curve down. We'll need confirmation once we cross this the blue MACD line with the yellow leader. As soon as that starts crossing back to the downside, then I think that's a good confirmation that we'll start our descent at this point. It's not uncommon when you're making your corrective move to come back up into the territory, fake everybody out and start moving to the downside. That's why we look at the higher time frames to see exactly what's happening. So on the 65, we have our momentum up, but that could end very, very soon. And here on the RSI, strength, you see moving right back into bullish territory. We'll see what happens if we can stay over this 50 line. If not, then we start moving down, and that's definitely going to move back into the bearish territory if we get back underneath that 50 line from this point, because in a bearish move, you usually end at about the 60 and not typically move up to the 70 area before moving back down. And on a bullish trend, it's not uncommon to get over the 70 and continue up into the 80s, even 90 territory, where we're showing a lot of strength. This may be the end of it, or maybe we come up to the 70-ish area and then start our descent if you're in a bear trend in the intermediate term. So, okay. All right, let's go over to the VX. That's our Vix Futures. So we're going to do it on the daily time frame. Let's analyze this. Trend is our friend. Now, on the big picture, you see that we broke out of this wedge. That's a very bearish sign for the market. And you see we're coming right back down to test that line. We put this line on there last week just to show a little bit of resistance and see where we had to get over. We didn't do that. We broke down from that point. We're back testing the wedge. That's very natural. Everybody knows that in the trading world, that you're skeptical about the first move out of a wedge. It's a good sign for the initial move, but you back test it just to make sure it won't break down. If we break down back into the wedge, that's a whole nother story. That means that we're going out to all-time highs. And we have this support area here that we want to definitely get back above. We have some confluence, and let's see how we react to this on the VIX. And if we are correct in that we're going for our big move, then we have our 3-wave correction here, and we're looking for a 5-wave move up. We'll probably make it right into this 36-point area, to where we'll have major resistance again. And then I do believe our correction will be over to that time. We might stay elevated in the VIX for a little bit before we go to all-time highs and actually break back down for our 5th wave in the market. So yeah, everything seems to be working on as planned, but the market's not going to lay it out easy for you. It's very it's very difficult to time and predict everything in the market. That's why you have bulls and bears and different scenarios that play out. Okay, so on the SPY, we really look at this for volume, and we didn't have any volume on Friday with our inside day there, but even, with this huge push here, our volume really didn't spike that much. It just kind of dwindled away. We had some nice volume on that last push that was a capitulation type move, and that's what started. That should have been our first sign that we were actually reversing at that point. Huge volume on this node here, huge volume node on this spike here. But you see, rip your face off rally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days basically. I didn't like this candle. It really started to fake us out here on that. We didn't get the follow through, so it was kind of an A, B, that red candle, and then C see your way out of there, and really took off. And I thought we might stop at the 8 MA and the 50. We're right above it, closed right on it, and didn't quite get to the 20 MA. So maybe that's the little bit of move that we get next week into it before we start our descent, or if we just break down from here, and then our move starts. So that's what we want to look at there. On a wider range, I didn't show this on the SPX, but we have our wave 4 invalidation. If it truly is our wave 2 that we were looking at, end of wave 1 here, we can't cross over that. So if something breaks down and just continues from this point and actually goes underneath this wave 4, then we have something else going on. We might have been the top of the market. I don't think that's going to happen, but we just want to put that there for reference anyway, that our wave 4 cannot go underneath this line at about 360 area. Okay, so I hope that helps out for everybody. A lot to learn there. Let me know in the comments if I can help out with any other way, or do any chart requests for you. I'm always up for that. And thanks for joining us here, non-patrons. And have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Patrons, stick around.